science experiments with Mr. Brandon.
Hi friends! Earlier this morning, Miss Sarah talked to you about the big new word that you learned today, which is covenant. So God made a covenant with Abraham in the Bible and with Abraham's people, which is the Israelites, and now includes us. So I have a super simple science experiment today that will help you better understand this idea of covenant. When Miss Sarah explained it earlier, she explained it's like God's life is interwoven with our life and a strong bond is formed between God and humanity, which is what we call the covenant, and that's because of God's love for us. So the science experiment that we're going to do today only involves two things, two notebooks. So you can find two any size notebooks lying around your house, and you can do this experiment to learn about what covenant means. So, to do the experiment, you put the notebooks down on a flat surface, like a table. And you have the bindings of the notebooks facing each other. And I think what's cool about these particular notebooks is they were given to me at my friend's wedding. And a wedding is often described by the church and by the Bible as a covenant as well. So I want to thank Katie and Tim for these awesome notebooks that are helping me do this science experiment. At the end of the video, I'll show you some other materials you can use to do the same experiment. So to begin, you're going to open one notebook. There's a beautiful picture of Katie and Tim. They're beautiful people inside and out. And then you're going to open the cover of the other notebook so that they lie right on top of each other. And then all you're going to do is alternate the page that you turn in each notebook. So you're going to weave the pages together. So you can think of one notebook as God and one notebook as us, and we're weaving the two together like a covenant. So we can turn the page on God's notebook, we can turn the page on our notebook, and then we go back and forth, and back and forth. So you take turns, we're weaving these pages together, just like because of God's love, He weaves into our lives. So this is going to take a really long time because I have like 100 pages in each notebook. So Miss Sarah's going to fast forward the video for us and we'll talk at the other end. Okay, so we're getting to the very end. That kind of took a while. This is a lot of pages. So it doesn't really matter if you have this many pages. It's not perfect there at the end. Okay, so we've woven our two notebooks together. You can see the pages are woven together. So now to demonstrate, we've now formed a covenant between God and us, His people. So God's love for us and His covenant is so strong that it can't be broken. So if I try my hardest, if I grab one notebook with one hand and one with the other and try and pull them apart, I can't do it. I'm trying as hard as I can. I didn't use any glue, any tape. All it is are the pages woven together, and I'm trying my hardest and I can't pull them apart. So I'm going to even give one end to Miss Sarah if she's able and see if she can help me pull them apart. 1, 2, 3. No. So we can't pull it apart. And the scientific explanation is because of friction. So we have so many pages touching each other that when you pull on the notebooks, you're actually pushing the pages together, and pushing them together causes more friction. So if you don't know what friction is, you can simply rub your hands together really fast and you might feel them get warm, and that's because you're creating friction with your hands. So they're resisting each other, which causes heat to form. So the same concept is happening here with the papers. As we pull them apart to the side, they're getting pushed together, and the friction is causing that resistance so that they don't pull apart. But the key point to remember from your Bible lesson is that God's covenant that He made with Abraham and with us is so strong that there's nothing we can do to break it, because we can trust in God and His promises. So I just wanted to show you real quick if you don't have a notebook like this. And by the way, I challenge you to see if you can pull yours apart. You can try it with a sibling or a friend or a parent or a grandparent. If you and your sibling can't pull them apart, see if your parents or your grandparents pulling on them can do it. See if anyone's strong enough to break that covenant bond. So have fun with that. I just wanted to show you a couple other options if you don't have notebooks that look like that. You could even use sticky notes. So I have 2 pads of sticky notes here. You could weave them together, which might take a little bit of time, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I'll just show you, I already made one earlier. So I have 2 sticky notes woven together, and I can try the same thing. I try to pull them apart, but they won't come apart because of that friction. And I'm reminded of God's love for us in his covenant. So another variable of the experiment that you can play with is how many pages you weave together. So with this notebook, it was like almost 100 pages. And with the sticky notes, that was maybe like 50 to 100 sticky notes. But you could try 2 different notebooks and see if you just do like 10 pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's see if this covenant is strong. No, it's pretty easy to pull them apart. So you can play with how many pages you need to weave together to make it really difficult to pull apart the notebooks. So I hope you have fun with this experiment. It's a really simple one and it doesn't take very long, but hopefully it reminds you of what you learned about God's love for us and the covenant that he made with Abraham and with his people. See you soon.